Well, that song by Nathan Nyerenda, Mwema kufi yandi winenuka, wemutima, no vesalapuka, fimwanda ishi, nemi pashiako era, tetifichimfye, lesa uamweo. Now, Zambia was declared a Christian nation a good, about, I think it's 32 years ago, by the late President Frederick Chiluba, who declared that Zambia should be a country governed by the Christian nation values. And therefore, from 1991 to today, we have seen Zambia being a Christian nation, and Christianity is almost everywhere. It's only in Zambia where namutaveni balalishe nyimbo shakwalesa, muminibasi balalishe nyimbo shakwalesa, you are traveling, people are dancing, looking at our heritage as a people in Zambia. But one thing that has been very, very, a topic that has been very much contested, or a very controversial topic, is what is the role of the clergy in a year of election or in politics? What is the role of the clergy in the year of election or in politics? And on this program today, Zambia Decides, as we are discussing very important matters. Like I said, this program is here to inform the Zambians on what they ought to expect in the year of elections. Like we said that we want to speak for the people aba mkomboni. Tefokulandilako bana mariketi, tefokulandilako balabonsa bakwa kanyama Mrs. We want to speak on behalf of Baliaba Kuchamboli, Abakamchanga. We want to speak on behalf of those in Lundazi, in Chama. And we want to share about this nation. Listen, why should you get involved in this year's polls and in this year's election? It's very, very simple. It is your God-given right. You were born in that country for a purpose. And if you were born in Zambia for a purpose, then you have an obligation by God to participate in the governance of the nation. To discuss with me today on these important topics, I have a great leader who is joining me all the way from Chingola. This is no other than Bishop Joseph S. Kazhila. I want to welcome Bishop Kazhila to this podcast. Bishop, how are you doing this morning or this afternoon?
Well, Doctor, I'm so blessed, and good morning to you. Good morning to all the viewers on this great podcast. It's a privilege that you have brought me here.
Well, we are glad to have you here, Bishop. I know that Chingola, how is Chingola? You know, on this platform, we speak any language. We want to make everybody comfortable because we know that Zambia is a big nation and not everybody has been privileged to get into high levels of understanding complicated English. So, Olochisungu, we make it very simple English. So, Bishop, abantu badishani Chingola. And
Chingola tulechinchira bakamba tulemuno olusero akwalesa tulesubira uno mwaka kuti Chingola ingesa nokuba like the other places. I think synonymously Chingola yali shirikwati yafinkunka emwambira ama issues ayasunkanya ichalo. Like you saw the gassing.
Oh yes.
We had issues of riots, especially last year and this year. Then of course the banning of markets
markets.
and other things. Yeah. And other
Bishop,
things.
you have raised a very important topic before we dive into, you have just reminded me before we dive into the topic and the subject of today, you have raised a very powerful point in which we can use for our discussion today as we look at Zambia Decides. Something, if Mwalanda, there was a time, and I believe it was in the year of elections, when we saw the gassing issue, and like you said, that Fiambire Chingola, and you were privileged at that point to be at the center or the heart of the nation. Then I remember that at some point you issued a statement which unfortunately landed you into the prison or the police cells. I want you to recall what was happening in the year of elections in Chingola, the previous elections.
Well, it was in the year 2020. So predominantly, I was helping, standing on behalf of the people of Chingola and Zambia in respect to the issues of gassing. So they
Well, we are having a very interesting topic today.
So
Joseph Kazhila, yes, he's back. Yes, Bishop, your network got froze at some point.
So the government of the day issued, I was saying there was gassing in the country because abantu bari gassed. Abantu bari stressed, bari chulile, chari clear. Ero buteko waisalanda tiyo gassing takuri yo. So that to me did not sit well. So I kept on my radio programs calling upon Ubuteko to help Ugutumamo Wagapokola so that Barete Chiwote Musumba. So him talking like that on 20th January 2020. So they picked me. I was on a live radio program like we are live now. They interrupted the radio program and picked me bantwala ku police. You are propagating false information. So we are going to charge you, to detain you.
Okay.
So if you should the next thing that we are not detaining you Muchingola, somewhere else. Bambika na mkamotoka naka kuntanshika tangira pona masaireni kwati criminal nango nimfu mubaretu wala. So nama saireni nge and that's how. So today I'm no one was answering. So you need to understand that whatever you are up to and whoever is sending you, I'm still a man of God.
Correct.
So I think this is injustice. You cannot treat me the way that I'm being treated. What is my offense? So no one was answering the name. So if a bunch traded 10 kuchitwe. But by that time, the gassing issue had now spread. It had gone everywhere. Abantu Muchingola to protect themselves. Kwareba ukulala, ama neighbors mwafuma mwasara poinga ande kweteka sitting room kakuru. Ero nomba ama neighbors kuya ilonga mulia mwine. Ero bashitata bana mayo makamaka na bana balala mu sitting room. Ero bashitata baleronda panse ukumonati ama families yabo yari safe. So that was going on every day, every night. No, these are the productive men who should be working underground and elsewhere where they do their services. but in the night they are not sleeping. So
Yes.
that in itself was a danger to the economy. As I know, you under African Institute of Leadership and Governance, you teach these things. So here is a man who's tired, you know, because he's protected the family all night long. So they are dozing at work, and that affected the economy. The economy began to sink. Erogasing has just spread from Chingola. It went all over Zambia. People died. People were maimed. People were beaten. And it brought a lot of suspicion such that limori mungaba monafi omuntu tasakwire emishishi ati ababe nemagasa azingana akwataka chora neshi esvanebo kumutukira nokuya ikata kwamba okupuma omuntu wakaere ati magasa. Stranger, if you visited any area in Zambia, you needed first to clear with the police or the district commissioner. If not, and then they give you someone, a local person who knows. Otherwise, you could be lynched. So, Doc, it was terrible.
Yes, I remember very well. I was in Lusaka, and all these things were happening in the year of election. And ladies and gentlemen, elections are just a vital element to our nation. And today, we are discussing with Bishop Joseph Kazhila, who is joining us in his capacity. Today, I'm speaking to him in his capacity as a bishop from Chingola. And also, you know that nabena bishop alikwata abantu abamkomboni abesa ku church abalepita mfya pusana. And somebody said, Bishop, that the only way you can know that the economy is doing well, you should ask the pastor. Umtulo nga ulea ulefura mchecha, abantu nga balepera. The economy is doing well. If you bede, somebody said, nga mamona abantu church baleleta, awe bambo kulapera. It simply means the economy is doing well. Busho mutulo uko kuchingola. Ulishani ku cathedral. Now ufura.
That's a good question, Doc. Umutulo waliwa amataifi ya nono nabale supporta ama programs kwata ama television programs yesu abengi they have given up. So there is that outcry in the compound, and understandably so, because the prices of essentials are very high at the moment. Yes, quite high. Ubunga, wudukuma 300, filia ma cooking oil, kuma 300, nga ma shop right no mashara. So, a common man in the compound does not understand macroeconomics.
Yes.
So, no matter how you explain, it's difficult for them to understand. What they understand is to see. You're touching the camera. What they understand is to see them affording the basics of life.
Yes.
So I want to make mention here so that we are in one accord.
Correct.
To build something which was destroyed over centuries, over years, does not take a miracle of just saying in the name of Jesus Christ, and then everything is restored. It becomes normal. So
Bishop.
it requires hard work, sacrifice. And I think that is what I've seen in our nation. So the common man out there is not appreciating what is going on. But the truth be mentioned, Doc, you as a doctor who has done research and a lot of other studies, you understand that economy is a complex matter. There are certain things that you have to do at the expense of others in order to achieve an objective or a goal. So
I did not expect that he will be shooting very hard. I've always wondered why this man does not have mercy sometimes. He's really going deep already. So, Bishop, you are talking about the economy already, and you are really helping us. And more especially, you know, Epochap Sanako, you are speaking as a father here. When we speak as a father, you concerned about the lives of those God has entrusted you with. And in this case, abantu bamuchingola, abantu bamakombo nyamuchingola, ngabalo shapali imwe, they see a father. And imwe nga mwababepo obufi, nishi, the whole nation has been cheated. So you coming out today strongly saying, the economy has gone down and rebuilding does not take a miracle. That's just something very strong. So before the internet broke at that point, I wanted you to continue because I'm listening to you and you are breaking it in simple terms. That because when we bring an economist here, like my brother Noah Nkhoma and others, if you bring them here, they will be explaining terminologies. Ayakwebati, if we understand what they are saying. So we need a simple man like you to share to us how these all areas are being impacted. So you can pick it up, Bishop, from where you ended.
Thank you, Doc. So what I was elaborating on is, indeed, the economy has not been appreciated by the majority of Abantu Uma compound because they are struggling to make ends meet. Novunga, sugar, cooking oil, rent, notwashara. So, if vena nangumurondorode mubebe kutatawe, the economy is moving. We are on the right trajectory. Tabengo mfwa, akomfwa fye ero nitengo, shabunga, nama cooking oil, nama sugar, yambo kuwera, panshi. But having said that, I also want to qualify it, Doctor, in this way. This economy was dead. It was dead, or rather it was in an ICU. And if measures were not taken, yakuchita restructure inkongolesho shitwakwete, isha tufumishe, for lack of better terms, isha tufumishe pakumonekanga abantu mwisonde muno. We were indebted big time. So the sacrifice of this government to restructure the debt, it didn't happen. Like I said, them are miracles fair pain. No, there was a lot of thoughts, a lot of planning, a lot of engagements. So they managed at least to restructure the economy. I mean, the debt. And they have put a lot of things. So they concentrated on macro economics, which you do understand, but someone someone may not understand, may not appreciate. So, ever you need to, if you are a visionary, you are seeing something, you need to achieve that vision. So a lot of people will not understand you. They'll think that you are punishing them. This is how it was with visionaries like Abraham, you know, like many other, Samuel in the Bible, Moses in the Bible. There are times when the Israelites could not understand them, but they had a mission of God to achieve. And for me, in as much, I think you have to get me, I'm balancing up here. I want the prices of goods. I also want to see the economy, macroeconomics must be strong. It must be enhanced.
Yes.
And I think this is what is happening. The consequence of macroeconomics is what we have been seeing in the Kwacha gaining strength. We have
Bishop, economist.
Not
economist, economist because twala cover. Macroeconomics, fiscal policies.
Because I'm a student of economics apparently, so I'm thinking double. I'm thinking of a member ure fumakukapisha kusoweto uchiwempala naisa kuche chitarire muremwe bati imeni tote na amapi arefirwa amapi nani amakata muri tamuri amaka muma arms tamuri amaka so imeni vaima maybe 2-3 minutes wamuna abantu bambo kwikara page simply meaning tabakwete fyakulya mu mubiri. You know, food is key. Even when Jesus healed some people, alisaiba abantu ati mupeni fyakulya because insara na yoburwele dok insara no kwipaya ile paya. So if you tika muma compound, but I'm just calling upon the people. I think we are close to seeing the rewards. That's why government has put in cash for work, food for work, social cash transfer, and the many other things, the CDF, they give the grants, Pakuti to mitigate some of these effects. We are close. We are very, very close. Mukumona fire mfika no kumfika tichalo. Chiri mupepi no kusami no olubuto ulukuru. So in salatule pitamo they are permanent. Mumone dok na mumishomo twafyarirwe. Kwaleba nshitashimoshimo ehitatware kwata ifyakulya but namkwate mbuto. So tati mubure mbuto mwaria mufwile ukuchita endure. Survival of the fittest. Mwaya kumabala kuya byala shire mbuto. Teti mubyale lero next week mwaya na ma basket yatwa mukusombola. No, it's a process. So a bit of patience for all of us can make a difference for our country. I'm talking now as a nationalist, you know, and we need to work together. And our friends who are privileged to be in government, they need to be explaining to the man or the woman on the ground. Maybe town hall or compound hall meetings. Then by Kalabale Londora, Tulechite, what to fikire napa, to Fumine Ukuno. I'm sure abantu, Kutiba Ambo Kumfa, no Tamure Londoro, Abantu. They will think you are killing them. They will think like you are their enemy, even when you are doing right.
Bishop, the government is listening. I know that our program is gonna go.
And that's why I'm talking like this.
They are listening, and they know. It's on August 13th. Zambia is heading to the polls. Eloni Shaban, Machilin and Salafira Mwachalanda to Abeva Timini, and Mutote Mchech, Amagata Wakwet. Then Mwaveva Tilolena Ukaria Baino. So on that point, Bishop, it will lead us to something that is very serious. And now I want to dive into this subject quickly. What do you feel is the role? And this time, I don't want us to talk about the church. Because if I say the role of the church in Zambia, to allow it to diversify and could a church without us defining who do we call the church, which one is the church. Because you see, as men of God, if we are the church, no, That one is not the church, Ifwe. So I want us to, because you know what happens. So I want us to dive into this, narrowing it to the clergy. I will use the word clergy instead of the church. I will also not want to use the term pastor, because I'm an apostle, I'm an evangelist, pastor. So I would put it as the clergy, or men in the clock, or men of the cloth. This year, Kuryukuvota, we saw in the previous elections, but Bishop, we saw among organizations, ambiale imat Christians for Ntwanikane, yambialeti Christians for Chite, yambialeti believers for this. Na fibuka futile no muye yama elections. Abale imini na papupit ba shima pepo to prophesy ukwebati. This one is the one who God has anointed. This one is the one who God has anointed. Tuali mona futi ba Bishop imwe komwali live. Eko mwali live insta ya kuchita discuss bill 7. Elo bambi ba shima pepo ba imine. Batila no, we oppose bill 7. Bambi ba imabaya tukana no kutukana ba shima pepo ba tuka ba shima pepo ba naabo. Without him realizing what he was doing. So what is the real role of the clergy in the year of election? That is where I want you to come in. Mkwa.
Thank you, Doc. A clergy, first let me say that clergy, we are in different categories. There are clergies called by God, there are clergies made by man, and there are clergies that have made themselves. So those
I want you to break that one slowly. And clergies made by
ashima people, nabanama people, bali ba categories. Kwali baba itwa na lesa, abasalwa n'okuyitwa na lesa, n'okupeerwa omulimo na lesa. Ero kwali ba abo abayitwa n'okusalwa n'okupeerwa omulimo ku bantu. In fact, there are 4 categories, yes. Ero kwa abana bambi abayita fye abene bakumbwa fye okumona bandi fye balechita ati hawe na inewine I think kukunti baradi sana omuturo na inewine so aya ibimbamo nao ati dishima pepo nangu na mapepo. The last but not the least, the 4th one, ni abo bayitwa na satana obo satana atuma. But abayitwa na satana, their role is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. In short, to bring confusion where there is peace, and etc., etc. So, ababayita abene, balakabira okutati fintu fibombe, batafibombeka, antile satarimo. Mukuchitefi, then they begin to find ways of manipulating the system so that they validate themselves at Baritwa Nalesa. This is where now you have people sometimes making prophecies. Ayakupanga fyo mwina tonto nkanyafye lesatalandile amona fye filenda iyo bazambia balawi na balabitinga ba Nigeria fili 0 bantu bazambia libali winine bali bit ba Egypt nangwa fili 0 amona so ambo kusesemefya ifyo. But abafuma kuri lesa, you are a man of God. Mwarishwa nangu bakasesema mu Bible. Tabare sesema lyonse every day basesema fye basesema fye. Barero edaka no mupashi wa mushiro abapela ifya kulanda abatumana ku audience which they must reach and address. So now that is about the clergy. We are in an election year. So tufire ukubashani, what should be our role? Problem, Doc, is it is the clergy that start confusion. It's not the ordinary people. Because one of the reasons is clergy, they want to behave like they are gods. like they direct God, they control God. Some of them, you have seen a clergy sometimes saying, I'm calling heaven on a phone. On a phone, I'm calling heaven. Hello, Papa, God, how are you? I'm your son, and so. What should I tell these people here? And people are busy cheering. They are cheering. Baletota, kaini abantu, Bible says, and the simple people believe everything. The simple people in Proverbs 14:15, the simple people believe everything. So anything that they'll be told, they will believe. A clergy comes and says, yo, and therefore amupole bonse na munonke, so bonse tanta meniba na mayo, and then the clergy is stepping on the bums of women. And there people are so indoctrinated to that. So we have an election which is coming, Doc. So what should be the role of the clergy? Number one, the clergy ought to go into helping to promote peace and unity among the citizens. Clergy should be bold to counsel the participants in the elections, whether they are from the ruling party or the opposition, on the importance of upholding peace. And the clergy should encourage civic engagements. It's part of the law God has given us. If you go in Proverbs 31, verse 8 and 9, this leader is being encouraged, speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. Those who are appointed to die. Stand up. And I think this is one of the roles that I've taken since I went into ministry, and I've been misunderstood a lot. Because people don't appreciate to be told.
Well, we have Bishop Kazhila there, who is giving a serious guidance on the role of the clergy in the year of election. Bishop Kazhila is back. The network got cut on him, but he is back there. Bishop, are you there? Bishop Kazhila, are you there?
Yes, the internet is just disturbing. Yeah, so continuing on the roles, the clergy we need to provide the moral voice on issues affecting community. We need to stand for our community. We need to counsel the community to understand that actually they are the masters. They are not the slaves to those who are standing elections as councillors, council chairman.
But Bishop, hold your fire up then. You have said the clergy, they are the ones who are supposed to speak for the voiceless.
Yes.
Then you have also said the clergy are the ones who are supposed to bring moral value or moral balance. Then you have also said the clergy are supposed to be the yardstick or the final line or the guide. Number we have seen already as we are talking February number. And already we have seen the clergy speaking, propagating and promoting political organizations and saying God has said uyu ewalavapo, not you. We have seen that. Then number two, we have also seen that number of politicians church every Sunday, one church or the other, they are visiting churches, and they are not just visiting. Bale visiting an ama brown envelope. Meaning they are coming with cash. Number. But politician ishiba. Like you said that the simple man can believe anything. But politician ishiba. Where you stay kumayadi, you can walk a distance without having churches. Ngamuli kumayadi. Koma ifu fwewa bamukombo ni paskulu limo walasanga ma church 4-5. Mukombo on Sunday we go kuma church. Ama church na yesula. And the pastors today are busy preaching political messages, not because efyole salandile, but because of an envelope. No banga tualanda Kazhila ba UPND inendi wa PF. How do we expect Bishop Kazhila to still be a moral guide when his allegiance is with the ruling party? So your question here, because I think makamaka imumweba kwebati mwalilesa alimivikako in position to speak for the people. Twala ndokobati no. Ulia wa UPND, Bishop Kazhila wa UPND, teti tumunfuile. Uyu wa PF, Joshua Banda wa PF, teti tumu. So, how can you guide there so that we look at you and say, truly, these are men of God? Elotamula asuka by Bishop. I want us to go on a short commercial break, which I want you to listen to. I hope this video is ready. Because muma chechu munatu ambokuya naba mufialo, they come to us muma kombo and they are prophesying. So I want you to listen to this video, and I would want you to bring that balance of this question. Already, as I've said, that things are already happening in our churches. Let's listen to this and then we'll get back to you.
Zambia. In my revelation, I was taken in the realm of the spirit to see the nation of Zambia. And I saw the current president in a marathon race with other contestants. And I saw on him the flag of Zambia, wrapped round and sewed round like a cloth. And I saw other contestants with him, looking confused. And I saw him running. And he got to the finishing line before everybody, and the gap and the distance he gave to everybody was far beyond what you can imagine. In my second vision, I saw a golden seat. And I saw a lot of people were running towards that seat. But before they got to the seat, I saw the incumbent president sitting on that seat. I look at the 4 legs of the seat. They are iron legs, and they were all balanced properly. Make what you want to make from it. The future is bright for the current president. I have said this to the opposition. You are not prepared, you are confused, and majority of you are selfish, and you don't know how to sacrifice your individual ambition for the overall vision of the nation. Thank you. Give Jesus a clap of.
That is already happening in the year of elections. But Bishop, over to you. I want you to come in and share with us how should pastors conduct themselves. Yama envelope papoka, shaingire shama building fund, ningufa kuma copper belt imwe at least muliko bwino kuchingola limitashira amba kufika but I'm sure shali amba kufika limbi muli bambi mupite mu makomboni muipusha mwala umfuati pano nalipoka kwaka so how can we the nation trust you as Bashkofu in this year of elections, looking at already what is happening? Here in January, ni one fair take in January. So by the time we get to February, March, April, full. So Bishop, over to you.
Well. Of course, there are so many prophecies. It's not the only one. There are many others who have said the incumbent is winning. Others have said is losing. So there is a queue of them. I want to maybe also bring it in this matter. In a democracy, God has allowed people to elect their leaders. God has allowed. Democracy is not the will of God per se. It's a formation of man which God has allowed, like he allowed Jews when they wanted a king. So he used to lead them through his prophets like Samuel and the others, but they wanted a king like other nations. So he allowed and he said, okay, that's how Saul came. And God says, you have chosen a king. So Saul was a king made by man. David was one made by God. So in our situation, therefore, in a democracy, you know better than me. People choose whom they want to choose. The only bad part of it in a democracy, where instead of debating ideas, what people intend to do, if we put them as councillors, mayors, MPs, or presidents, they have no time for that because they don't even know what they should do. They are looking at job opportunities. Nga baisa baba councillor ama protsia nga bakasenda nga baba mayor. Bakachitashani nga baba MP. Baba salary mbibu minister. Portfolio bakayibonfyashani to amass wealth. Ebwafya bwa mu Africa, ebwafya bwa mu Zambia. So abadefaayo okwingira mu bu MP, mu bu mayor, mu bu councillor na mu president echo. They have found the weakness. Under Proverbs 31:8-9, and Proverbs 14 verse 15. And the simple people believe everything. That's the weakness of the Zambian voter, Doc. Let's face it. The Zambian voter does not look for someone who's coming to represent them well, who's coming to take their needs, bring them, package them together, and go and lobby. Which we empara ukwifirefwa ikwane finite ukasompe firefwa ikwane finite. They don't look for that. They wait for elections. Ngakwaba elections abengi abantu because of our simplest twachimonati eshta ya kuria. So abaleisa honorable mwara shenshi. So uwala shaka kuru obakonka abantu. In short, ba mukuvotere mpia tabavotera abantu. Abantu abakwete amano, abakwete emitima shako afwa ichalo, abengesa kuti achabu chiste develop, abengi tabakwate mpia pantu tabeva. So ba pompwe shimwibira nsana efe balanda ababemba ba pompwe katwishimwibira nsana amushimwibira nsana. Ababene bayitumpa mu drugs, mu corrupt activities. Eba kwete chuma ba doctor. Ebe sanga baisa. Bale bule fipia bale posa. So riyale bale posa limbe baleta matraki ya mabunga barisha abantu. Mukamvotere. And unfortunately, abantu twali ba very simple. We don't learn. Since democracy came in 1990, when Kaunda, may so rest in peace, changed the constitution for the elections in 1991, We have learned nothing. We are just repeating the same mistake. So we have taken thieves into parliament, into council, into wherever. So at the end of the day, impia they have been spending on corrupting people, they have to recover during the 5 years that they have to be in there. So they will forget about you. They will not visit you. If they visit, they will only come and support. But they never in a cycle. So we keep on crying and crying. So who do you blame? You blame the voter, not even the corrupt man. Let the corrupt man come with their envelopes, whether they are from ruling party or opposition. If you are very hungry, get the money, but don't vote for anything. Don't vote for money. Look for someone you know. Someone you know can deliver.
Bishop, looking at the time that we have in I want us to wrap up, and I will ask you personal questions. I always do this when I've got a podcast. I ask before we close. I ask a few personal questions. You have been in the church as a priest or as a preacher or as a minister for over 35 years. It's a long time, Bishop.
Yeah, sure.
You have seen elections after elections, and you have seen how the country is going. My question is, have you ever been tempted? Has there been an opportunity in your life as a preacher, a politician, of course, they don't say that you know corruption money. Brown envelope. You know that you really need this money. Have you been tempted by political authorities with either cash or any privilege in that sense ever since in your 35 years?
Yes, Doc. I want to accept a number of times, especially in the previous regime. They used to come with good amounts of money. I never took one penny, and never. I always had, regime? I haven't seen anyone come. I think they know my position. They know my position. Me, my position. If they were able to come, our church building would have been completed. Or if this regime was giving us money.
Despite that, everyone to alishibokwe but imweni mwe muliana wa kateka ni mwe muliana wa UPND. You mean up to now you have decided not to take the money?
They haven't given me anything. They have given money to various churches. I'm sure you see it. I'm not blaming them. I think for me, I want to eat out of my sweat. So at no time can I say Abantu Balantunganya is close to the president, so Balamutuilama million. So if I was given, yes, I can accept, but not Tisha Kumpelati and they kupela pakuti which they influence Abantu Bamvotere, even when some things are not they're not being done right. I cannot accept such. I love this man who is president today. And let me say also this, that I'm not UPND. I've never been UPND, and possibly I shall never be. But I'm a sympathizer. I think it's a normal thing. Even if you are a clergy, I'm a sympathizer towards the president. Yes, towards and his vision and so forth. I support it. Not based on what I can get
Bishop,
from there.
Bishop, I want you to address the nation at that point, because Bishop, and me, I'll tell you straight, because on this podcast, you have said you have never been UPND. You have never been not UPND, and you do not intend to be.
Yes, but I sympathize with, I support the president.
Yes, no, there's a difference between the organization and the president. Here you are making it categorical. So in this case, abantu badishboga bali mitunganya ukwebati ulechta corrupt ama pastors. If you're balenda vya mkomboni, imwete ati bamyebe kula kumayadi where you stay. The people will never tell you that. because ngamwafikachira muntu drives in his yard and forget. So, but the people who sit Kuchibwempala, the people who sit Kamchanga, and they will say, I'm sure ulechita corrupt Bashima people. It's Bishop Kazhila, because he is the one who is seen in the media with the president. He is the one they will suspect that like so the people may be saying, you are the one. Can you just address that matter to the nation clearly, so that we know in the row of elections, so that if the PF, now let me leave the PF out, because the PF is also in an alliance with UPND with Chavinga. But let us talk about, yes, because PF is together with UPND with Chavinga now. A socialist party, ba Harikala ba CF, ba Chalakateka, ba all these other political organizations, Gabaisa Kuchingola and Barefwaya Mapalo, they want you to pray for them. We want to hear from you. You have categorically said, look, you sympathize with the president. But if these Balubinda Barefo for prayer to you, they want to come to you, because all these people have the beauty about these elections. Nobody can point fingers to say you were a president before. There is nobody who has been president before. All of them, they are contesting against one man who is also in his 5-year term, which is expiring on the 12th. So we want to hear from that, Bishop, and I want you to step by step, maybe I'll give you 2 minutes to just address this matter. It's a very serious matter. No. Bishop Kazhila, wakwa HH tu pepe kokulia. Address that matter.
Yes, thank you, Doc. I like that question. You've actually done very well. Let me put it very, very clear indeed. No one in government has ever given me money. And then and it's God who gives me direction, is the one that I follow. Life yandi I would have had the good vehicles. We would have finished our church building here. Problem ya Zambia imitunganya ero abantu abenge bakayana ku muriro mwandu munchende ya kwenda mukatina kakwaresa kwati tutangisha po imitunganya enga wapate omuntu urefwana bonse ati bamupate uri muntu so abo bapata bakainde ichirema fyabo abene neshayishwa mabizoni yo bapatena yo bapatira. So tete umuntu esansi te persuade that na enjoy the mupate o shimwene mu chirubo inengana mone chirubo muri bakateka. I tell him that no, this is not right. I'm sure he can also watch this podcast. No, this is not right. And he's a very listening man. So nomba abantu ukutunganya pantu na chari shupate aparame yo wapalama ukupalama kwandi kuri ba president tempia isho bampera monfu ikichemwe bena Zambia tempia. I am just convinced that the man has a vision, and his vision is good for the nation, and it agrees actually with the will of God for me in my own understanding and in the vision that I have for this nation. For Zambia to prosper, you need a leader wa palanga uliawine. Sheranda timuka muvo tere muka stesha tefyo ndelandako. Ababonse ama opposition, they are very free to come and kupepana ifwe. Wonse abesa mukupepana ifwe doctor. Tuaribeba ngawaisa kuno mopupiti, whether you are from ruling party or opposition, wambama politics, I will stand up immediately you finish or before you finish, that please, this is not what you should do here. This is me. This is how I have been. It's my openness that has cost me that even I'm a friendship, but so what? So what? If it pleases God, and I will remain so. So kuntunga, if I tell you that actually abandwisha nangu ni muchingola muno, there are more abamu UPND abandwisha ukuchana abamu opposition. That's how it is. That is the practical truth, and I think even other people know. So I even wonder, but why these people? So Zambia is going into an election because Zambia is appeal to the Zambian people. Let us identify men and women who have capacity to deliver. Are morally upright, God-fearing, and people whom you know. Mwaliba monapo tabalastana aspire ali kwata interest kwikala n'abantu ukufwaya ati mube omutete teababa mwisabe nga fumafe atolo kafe katwishinga ukufuma ku London ati yo tati tapo nangu chimona nangu kusapo sponsor mwana ku school aisatiyo ndefo yambe MP ambe mayor ndefo ambe councillor ndefo ambe president baleta FPA thing na papata tuchinje komu 2026 tuchiteko ekituntulu people who shall be accountable to us. So mukulekeresha kuntunganya buti mwantunganya because abenga ntunganya abengi nibale bakwata emitima eshibi abene nibakaborara abaishibatinga wafala makuli president nishini mpia esho akula kupera na papata esho mitima mulepanga fyo rubembu kuchinso echakwalesa. I mean, this man has been going around the country and he has empowered a lot of churches. Naba perama millions kuma churches pusana. But this our church here, Life Gospel Fellowship Ministry Church International. We have not even received anything at all, and we don't blame, we don't complain. You know, that is up to them. We are not going to force anything. But having said that, because we haven't gotten anything, it's not the reason that I cannot support good ideals. I'm looking at Zambia. I've got a family, children, grandchildren. I mean, I'm going away. What type of Zambia should I live for them? So working in unity, in oneness, you know, I'm board chair for ZNBC. And people, you know, what money is in the boards. You sit and then you are given 5 pin and you sit 4 times in a year minimum. I mean, per quarter. And so you have 20 pin. Yo, no, Kalawa, Kazhila, Naba Kwatefi. Wuno Shiwi, Mekubantu. So today, Chinja. Mure Shabalwani Venu, Mure Pampamina, Aba Kaere, Aba Leniafwa. I've been involved in a lot of civic applications or education in the land. And I've helped to bring some kind of peace in this town of Chingola. Dealing with the Dera was not an easy matter where people were running away. I risked my life. Where are we today? Today, the Jerabos are our friends. Today, the Jerabos are happy in a way or another. I speak for them before authority. I tell authority, this is what people are saying and saying. Authority also try to bring in intervention. So, Doc, this is Joseph Kazhila, simple man. I'm not here for wealth. If God will give it to me, so be it. I love God. I love God's people. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Zambia, there you have it. Bishop Joseph S. Kazhila joining us from the land of the Copper Belt, Ukulandila Kwabena Kopala, and he has raised a lot of issues. Well, my job is very simple. Zambia decides. We want to talk to them. We want to talk to men and women who have access to these politicians. We want to talk to men and women who are aspiring. We want to talk to you who will be putting these people into office. Of course, the UPND was hired 5 years ago, and their contract expires on the 12th of August. That is according to the democratic will and the constitution of Zambia. And you have a choice to either renew their contract and say, Tuasanta mwane, and kiss them goodbye on that day, and you hire another one. For us on this topic, on this program, we are not here to tell you who you should hire and who you should fire. But we are here to show you what leadership is and what leadership is not.